Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I want to wish everyone Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And I guess the present we all got was the information for the Super Sugofest New Year batch. So in this video I will do something different and give a star rating to all of the units we are going to get. If you enjoy this format and you want to see more in the future, definitely let it be known by leaving a comment and a like. I would greatly appreciate your feedback. But without further ado, let's rate the new units. First up, we have Yamato. She actually gets a dual unit combined with her forms. It's not a Captain Action unit, it's not exactly a solo legend since it is a dual unit, although one singular character is represented. I am not a big fan of this one, I will be honest. I don't like that she doesn't have a Captain Action. I think her being a dual unit is an extremely huge cop-out. Being able to transition through her forms would be 10 times better than this one. But now, since she is a dual unit, she also gets a swap and a super swap. She is also an EX super unit. And I will also say that this Yamato looks like a whale unit. Now, she can be useful for the general player as well, but because she is able to provide extra final tap boosting from her abilities like the swap, the final tap and even her captain ability, the higher you have your final taps, the more useful this Yamato is. So simply enough, for whales who have everything maxed out, even this Yamato, she is definitely more helpful than she will be for a player that just pulls for units and not for copies of units to max out their final tap abilities. That is her main unique gimmick, boosting final tap abilities, although outside of that she can still be a strong unit. Can be universal as captain for every class and color in the game, but her maximum boosting only applies to slashers and strikers, not the best possible combination of classes. She herself is a slasher striker unit. She can still remove 10 turns of bind like the normal Yamato, which is great from her captain ability, and in her special she provides a color affinity boost only for slashers and strikers, so that's not really good boosting either. Outside of that though, with her maximum special capabilities, if you have her in her dual form before activating the special, she can remove 7 turns of threshold, which is awesome. And she can also either increase the increased damage taken the enemy already has to 2.25 times, or apply it through immunity for 1.75 times, which is definitely great. Of course, if she is not in the dual form, her captain ability and her special are worse. So you still need to micromanage your swaps and super swap essentially before you activate her special. The positive is that from her captain ability she gets 1 turn of super swap meter reduction every time a slasher or a striker activates a special. So she is pretty striker and slasher specific, even though she can be also considered as a universal captain. For her star rating, considering everything I said and the fact that it's pretty disappointing to not see her have a captain action, being able to transition through her forms, I strongly considered giving her 2 stars, but I think because she also has future potential and to also try and be more objective, I think I will give her 3 out of 5 stars. Next up, as I called it, we have Roger and Oden. This is not a dual unit, this is a solo Q unit, so we get a singular character for a dual unit and 2 characters for a solo unit. Make it make sense. Anyway, I don't have much to say about this unit other than the fact that they are essentially V1 Oden and V1 Roger combined. So essentially they ran out of ideas to provide as Roger units, so they said, you know what, we provided V1 Roger, then his super evolution, now let's remake him alongside Oden, centered around Q and slasher units. That's what this unit is, and they also have a Rush Sugo special. Not the best, but I guess a modernized addition to the unit. Just like their older selves, they can stop beneficial effect removal, and then they can also completely remove despair from the captain ability. From the special, they can provide an attack boost, an ore boost, and they can also manipulate some slots into Wano. Even though this is an extremely boring unit with no creativity, in my opinion, it is still a decent one since you combine 2 good legends into a good one, obviously, and the fact that they are Q definitely helps because Q is not one of the strongest colors in the game, so versus a strength enemy, they are definitely very good. I will be 100% honest here, I would normally give them 3 out of 5 stars because they are still a decent unit. But recycling 2 older legends into a new one just to sell a Sugofest, especially a Super Sugofest one, should be unacceptable. Definitely a slap in the face. I will give Roger and Oden 1 out of 5. The third and final legend of the New Year's Super Sugofest banners will be Zoro and Sanji, and they are actually 2 characters in a dual unit. They got it right here. And I have to say, this is by far, it's not even close, the best legend of the 3. The chain boosting they can provide is insane. They can provide a multiplicative chain boost, an additive chain boost, and a chain growth boost coming from their EX Super. On top of that, they can provide an attack boost and an ore boost through their swap. And from the Super Swap, we get a 2.25 times universal attack boost and ore boost. Essentially just like Roger Newgate, they are very strong with their swap. And outside of the attack boost and ore boost, they can also manipulate slots. Their super tandem ability is also very strong. I could even say one of the best ones in the game. As a captain, they can remove 10 turns of fear. Not great utility since it is not a common debuff, but I guess extra utility is never bad. It is definitely not as good as despair removal would be, for example, or attack down removal or something we see more often. Talking about despair removal though, it is crazy good that they can remove 1 turn of despair if they are a sailor from their sailor ability. From their captain ability they also allow overheal, they allow you to get a guaranteed matching RCV slot if you hit a perfect with any unit on the crew, and from their dual form special they remove 7 turns of threshold and defense up, which is insanely strong in a unit like this one. Especially if we consider this is Sanji and Zoro, and they can be attached with great supports as well. That is of course in their dual form. In single form specials, the special will be a little bit weaker. Finally, their unique effect, which I think is crazy. If your captain is either Slasher or Free Spirit, they make the entirety of the crew Slasher and Free Spirit. So they manipulate classes into the classes they want, and with their EX Super they provide superclass to these classes if you meet the requirements. But one thing I have to mention about their captain ability, they work very similarly to Carrot, so they boost specific classes and you get half of the attack boost if you have one class as a unit, and then if you have another you get the maximum boosting from them. So before you manipulate their classes, you might have some half attack boosted units in your crew if Sanji and Zoro are captains, but the only classes not included in their captain ability are Powerhouse and Cerebral. So everything else works and you can easily get some double boosted units even before you manipulate the classes. I think this unit has crazy potential and they are very strong. I am definitely going to give them 5 out of 5 stars. Next we have the Super Evolution for Super Sugofest Onigashima Law, and I have to admit it is a great Super Evolution for an already great unit. It is a direct upgrade on essentially everything he has, and some extra stuff is that he can now even have utility through his super type, which is absolutely awesome because he is able to now remove 3 turns of attack down and also paralysis. Just a great Super Evolution all around, I don't have much to say, I will give this 5 out of 5 stars as well. For the 2 rare recruits, Toki is the first one and she's a good utility unit being able to remove 6 turns of Special Bind and Bind. She does not provide much damage though, outside of resistance drops, so I will give her 3 out of 5 stars. And for the other rare recruit, Kinemon, who can provide 2 turns of Slasher Special Cooldown Reduction, so great for slashers, and then he can reduce paralysis for 6 turns. The unique thing about him is that he can extend attack and color affinity boosts by 2 turns, which can even allow specific boosts to be carried over through stages. That can be extremely helpful, but it is a specific niche. You also need a slasher captain, so to meet a requirement in order to access that effect. I think both rare recruits are okay in their specific niche, but they are nothing crazy, so I will also give Kinemon 3 out of 5 stars. And these are all of my star ratings for the upcoming New Year's Super Sugofest batch. Tell me in the comments down below, do you agree or disagree with specific comments? And of course tell me what is your most anticipated unit out of all of the ones we saw. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everyone, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Take care and I'll see you in the next one.